So when it comes to good money management, I really think a fun money category should always be an essential part of your budget. And if you haven't included it, you are missing out. So let's talk about what fun money is, why it's so important, and how you can budget for it. Then stick to the end to find out what I like to spend my fun money on. Let's get started. Hello friends, and welcome back to this money video. If you're new here, hi, my name's Yvonne and I make new videos every week, mostly talking about how to save money, make money and grow your money, because I am on a personal journey to financial freedom and financial independence and early retirement, and I'm sharing all the tips, tricks and hacks that are helping me to save so that they can help you too. So if you are interested in these topics, then hit that like button, subscribe and share this video with someone who wants to make a positive impact on their finances. Right, so let's start with what fun money actually is. So I like to think of fun money as the grown-up equivalent of pocket money or an allowance that you give yourself every month or however often you want to have the amount available, and it's there just to spend on whatever you want without having to feel guilty about it or be accountable for it. You know, you look at your bank statement for your fun money, and if you can't remember what you bought, it's okay, it's actually fine. And what I like to do is spend time allocating my money for like all the real adult responsibilities I have, my day-to-day living expenses, my savings, my investments, my financial goals. Then after doing that, whatever money is left behind is what I have to spend on myself without feeling guilty. So depending on your interest and hobbies, fun money can be used for like those little luxuries that matter to you. So you could use it for like self-care, brunches, sports equipment, or just buying knickknacks that you don't have to be accountable for. So the key thing to remember is that fun money is for you to have fun with. It shouldn't be used for any household or family related expenses that you've forgotten to buy, like cleaning products and so forth, or even to cover any emergency repairs. Instead, it's money spent solely on yourself, purely as the mood strikes you, and on non-essentials. But I know what you're thinking. Why should you have fun money in your budget? You should focus on savings, right? Actually, no. There are a number of reasons why it's a good idea to have fun money in your budget. The first one is it's a huge morale booster. Let's be honest, for many people, including myself, the most fun part about having adult money is being able to spend it on whatever you want. I remember getting my first paycheck from my first job and just thinking about the fact that I could buy whatever I wanted because it was my own money. I didn't have to ask anybody for it. I worked really hard for it. And you know what they say, right? Having access to adult money means you can just buy all the things you want just because you can, right? So allowing yourself a reasonable allowance to just spend on the little luxuries that you like can help satisfy that spending itch that most people feel when they force themselves not to actually spend. And it just feels nice to be able to spend your hard-earned cash on things that you like. And I like to think of it this way: having a budget is very similar to being on a strict diet, which I clearly have experience of. When you spend your time hoarding every little penny, it can get exhausting, it can get daunting and downright depressing real quick. Then all it takes is for something delicious to come your way and tempt you, and before you know it, you've fallen off the wagon. And then because you've fallen off the wagon, you think to yourself, well, I might as well just fall badly and indulge in every bad thing I can find. And the same thing can happen when it comes to budgeting. Having to be intentional and accountable for every single penny you have can sometimes leave you feeling demoralized if you don't have some that you can just enjoy for yourself. And then before you know it, it can start to feel real depriving, and you are more likely to quit budgeting, even though it can do wonders for your finances. But when you allow yourself the flexibility to enjoy some of your money every now and then with a reasonable fun budget, you could be saving yourself from a possible spending binge. And so that's why it's important to have some spending money set aside to just enjoy. Trust me, it'll make budgeting that much worth doing. The second reason is that it'll actually save you money. Even if you have no fun money, you know that at one point you're going to make unwise financial decisions and spend money on something you shouldn't. At least allocating a sum of fun money in your budget puts a limit on how much you will spend in this way. Without fun money, I find that most people who upset their careful budget with impulse buys are much more likely to abandon their entire budget altogether, saying, well, budgeting doesn't work for me. I spent so much money. I'm not good at it. I can't do it, you know? But fun money will allow you to keep your budget on track, save you money in the long run, and also means that you don't lose sight of your long-term financial objectives, because you do have money to just spend on whatever you want, even if it's something you don't need. Another reason is that it actually prevents arguments. So if you have a partner and you've set yourselves a long-term financial goals or even short-term financial goals, having separate fund money can cut out a lot of conflict and arguments over money in your relationships. All too often in a relationship, there could be one person who feels like they're getting the short end of the stick when it comes to like anything to do with money and budgeting, especially if both of you are spending casually from the same account. So allocating a personal fund money allowance is a sure way to stop many of your fights, as you both have the same sum to spend as you see fit without having to ask for permission from the other. Each person has a chance to spend their money however they want to without being judged. And you can do this by agreeing on a specific amount that each person gets. However often you do it, maybe every month, everybody gets the same allowance from your overall budget, and that money goes into separate individual fun personal allowance accounts that each person can spend for fun. And by doing this, no one person has to deprive themselves because the other is going wild and just using all the allocated fun money on themselves, and the other person isn't slowly cultivating resentment for the other because they're spending all the money and you have a difference in money habits. So having a personal fun allowance helps you to do the things you want without worrying about upsetting your partner. Another reason why it's important to have fun money is because there will always be a few situations where you are on a tight budget because you're really trying to hit your financial goals, and then someone close to you schedules a birthday celebrations or a baby shower or a picnic or a holiday and you're asked to attend or give monetarily. It's during those times that having your personal allowance can come really handy, and it just makes saying yes to having fun a lot easier instead of trying to like think of like excuses like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm busy tonight, when you ain't got plans. You know? And so now, because you have your fun money, all you have to do is prioritize all that you say yes to, because your fun money can only stretch so far. But at least you'll have something set aside for those things that you really want to be a part of without breaking into a panic when someone extends an invitation. Another reason is that a personal allowance actually can break the monotony of budgeting. So if you're anything like me, when it comes to budgeting, you have your whole money management process structured down to a T. Like, I have perfected my spreadsheet. I know exactly how it works when it comes to organizing my money, budgeting it, and tracking it on a month-by-month basis. But when it comes to my fun money, I allow myself to be as relaxed as I can with it. I just go with the flow, to be honest with you. For example, and I do this a lot, if I'm scrolling my favorite online store and I come across something I've wanted for a long time, and I've even waited 72 hours before I've made the purchase because I've remembered about it, this is where my fun money really comes into effect, because it allows me to purchase it because I have some allocated money to get what it is that I want. And what's even better is that I actually use this strategy to reward myself for meeting a financial goal. So let's now talk about how much your fun money should be. So I know that there's no set formula as to how much your fun money should be, because the amount you set yourself truly depends on a variety of factors like your income, your financial responsibilities, if you have any debts, if you're really going aggressive on meeting your short-term and long-term financial goals. So I did some research to try and see what people are saying, and what I could see from online sources was basically that ideally it should be at least 10% of your income, but not more than 30%. But personally, I think 30% is way too high, and that some of that should go into your short-term savings account. But I guess it really depends on how much money you're bringing in, right? Because if I was bringing in 10k a month, which by God's grace I will do one day, and my expenses were like 1,500, 3K still seems like a lot to have as fun money, right? But maybe I'm just way too frugal and I don't spend money. I need to learn how to spend money. But let me know in the comments if you think that that's actually an okay sum to be spending on a month-by-month basis. But what I will say is that if you are aggressively paying off all your debt or you're building up your emergency fund, you should actually try and keep your fun money allowance to a minimum until you've reached your goals. And I know it can seem unfair, but just remember it's only temporary. And once you've achieved your goals, you can then treat yourself and of course readjust your allowance. Don't underestimate the power of even having around £20 to £30 a month of fun money to do whatever you want to do with. And so with that in mind, I would suggest that you should organize your fun money separate from all your other accounts to not only stop you from overspending on money that is actually allocated for other things that are essential and super important. If you keep your essentials of money and your spending money in the same account, it's actually almost a guarantee that something might be missed, overlooked, or overspent. But it will also allow you to adjust and see exactly how much fun money you really need. And so for me, I actually like to allocate about 10% of my income to my fun money account, which means that if I was earning, let's say, and this is just an example, £2,500, then I know that each month I'd have £250 to just spend however way I like without worrying about it. Now, what's interesting is that I used to almost always spend more than that on clothes and shoes and activities for me and my son, and of course going out now and again. But for the last year, I haven't really been spending it, and I've actually shifted a bit of it towards my holiday fund, because once I'm allowed to leave this country, I am turning up. And of course, I'm hoping that as I increase my income, then I will also be able to increase my fun money as well. And so I'm hoping that in this video, you have learned the importance of having fun money built into your budget. Let me know in the comments below whether you have a fun money allowance that you have built into your budget and how much you allocate yourself. Is it working for you, or do you think it's not as important? Because we are a community who love to share all our favorite personal finance tips. Also remember, if you are looking for free money, make sure to hit that stocks and shares link down below, deposit money into your account and get a free share that's worth up to £100. That's potentially 99 free pounds. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs to make a positive impact on their finances. And don't forget to check out these videos, which will show you all the finance tips that I'm currently implementing in my life that have saved me thousands and thousands of pounds. Thank you so much for all your support, and I will see you in the comments below. And of course, I will see you in the next video. Have fun with your money. Take care. Bye.